In the last month, I have gotten a ton of new fish. I have shown a few of them off in some videos, but there's a lot that you guys haven't seen, and I want to show you those today. They're really cool looking, or they're going to grow out and be really cool looking, but let's go ahead and check them out. This one's a bit of a sad story that I didn't tell you guys about in a video. I recently switched over my 180-gallon tank, and I had 3 large albino threadfin acaras in there. Unfortunately, when I was moving fish around from tank to tank to be able to get them in the right tank, I left the 3 of them in a 60 breeder overnight, which I thought would be enough, especially just to sit in overnight. And they ripped each other to shreds, and all 3 of them died. It was really frustrating, really upsetting. So I got 2 new albino threadfin acaras, and I plan to hopefully keep them in here long term. This is my Blackwater 75-gallon aquarium with my group of Acara bimaculatas, some rummy nose tetras, some cardinal tetras, a pair of epistogrammas, and my wet pet angelfish Gil, who has always lived as a solitary angelfish, and we love him. So this is my 75-gallon Blackwater aquarium, one of my favorites that I love looking at. And its new inhabitants, the albino threadfin acaras, very small, and they will get a lot larger. I added 2 new fish to my hap and peacock tank. I added a blue flash hap. There he is over here. Looks like he's gotten hit on that side, but he looks like he's been doing okay. I haven't seen any issues with him. He's just deciding to swim funny right now because he's on camera. There he goes, back to normal. And then I also have a blue dolphin somewhere. There he is, up there in the back. So a blue dolphin and a blue flash hap. They seem to be getting along okay in here. I actually tried to add back in my Nagara flametail when I put them in here because he was getting beat up a few months ago, and I took him out of here and I had him with them, and I thought I add a few of them at the same time and it'll help. And it didn't. It's like the minute I put him in there, despite the fact that he's bigger than most of these fish, they just decided to try to beat him up a little bit. So those are going to be some pretty fish. Hopefully I can get my flametail back in here soon. This is one that is not yet full grown, but I think they're going to be spectacular whenever they are full grown. This is a yellow acara, and the pictures of when they're in breeding dress is amazing. Right now, and I should point to them so you know which one they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How nice of them to all be right next to each other. So those are yellow acaras. Another one that's in here, and those ones came from Dan's Fish. I've been looking for them for a very long time, and he occasionally has them for sale. And I finally got some thanks to one of my viewers, Tout Poison, I think is how you say his name. I mean, I can't really blame somebody else for having a difficult to say YouTube channel name because I do too. So we're just 2 peas in a pod. The other one that I got, this was from Jody at Tropical Fish Co. This is an albino Geophagus tapajos. There's the other one. So there's a couple of those in here as well, and they're doing great. This entire aquarium, this is 125 gallons. I don't think it has a full identity yet because every time I get a fish that's big enough in here, I move it to a different tank. So we'll see what it turns into long term, who stays in here. Right now, it's just kind of growing out a lot of different fish. There's my Spheni there, my Satanaperca gyroparis, and my Cupid cichlids, and now the yellow acaras, some angels, a few electric blue acaras, yellow loaches, some cories on the bottom. I don't think I've ever shown these cories. I don't think they were in my Fishroom tour, but they're kind of new too. So that's another new fish, Corionaeus. And yeah, so those are the new fish that are in this tank. And now let's check out this 16-gallon cube here, which is now home to 15 pea puffers. This was the home to a pair of Acara bimaculata, which I was trying to breed in here, and they just weren't doing it. And the final straw was I put a male and female here and found the male on the floor dead. Even though there's a lid on here, you can see there's a gap in the lid. So somehow that guy jumped out and died, and that was frustrating. So I decided this was not the right setup for that type of a thing. So I got some pea puffers, which is a fish that I have wanted to keep a tank of for a long time. At one point, I made the mistake of listening to people that said that these were murder beans and very violent and they needed to be kept alone, and that is incorrect. You're supposed to keep them in groups. I hope 15 isn't too many for 16 gallons. I saw 10 for 10 gallons. I saw a lot of different people saying different things, but also they like to live in large groups in nature. So I thought, you know, 15, I almost did 20, but 15 seemed like a reasonable enough number. So 15 pea puffers in a Blackwater kind of sort of planted aquarium. I'm hoping these Java ferns grow in, and some crypts down there on the bottom. Just added a few extra plants to make this amazing, but love these little guys. Can't wait to, well, I'd say see them grow up, but they probably won't grow too much. This is an aquarium that I did an entire video on the setup, but I didn't have all of the plants in there when I made the video, and now I do. The rainbow shiners in here came from Dan's Fish, and the hillstream loaches came from Jody at Tropical Fish Co. And they are quickly becoming a family favorite. I love watching these guys surf around the tank all over the rocks, but this aquarium is doing really well. Everything in this tank seems to love the high flow that come from the under gravel filter and the power heads. And not only that, but it just shows me again how awesome under gravel filters are, because it is the clearest water in my basement. I mean, just crystal clear. You can see some micro bubbles that I have on purpose coming from that power head, but all in all, just crystal clear water. And the fish seem to love the flow in there. They're just constantly going in and out of it, and they seem very happy. So far, this tank is going really well. This is going to be the most difficult tank to film and show you what's in here, so you may just have to take my word for it. You might see him moving around a little bit in the back, but I got a couple of new licorice gouramis. I had one in here. I originally started with 4, and my cat just scared me. She just meowed at me. Now she's jumping down in front of me. So I started with 4 in here, but they just kind of slowly died off. The place where I got them from is not that great, doesn't have the healthiest fish, although maybe I didn't take care of them well enough, who knows, and maybe this isn't a large enough aquarium, but it's been running for a long time, so it's really well established, and the Blackwater is looking great. Not only that, but it probably has a lot of different microorganisms and things for them to feed off of. But licorice gouramis tend to do better with live foods anyway, so I generally put brine shrimp in there. There are 2 new ones in there that are strawberry licorice gouramis, and the original one, I don't know what it was. It didn't really say exactly what kind it was, but that is another aquarium. Just a simple one, but it's very, I love the red root floaters on the top and the effects of the roots that you get from that. But just a fun aquarium to kind of peer into and see what you can see. I'm interrupting these guys' dinner here. There's some bloodworms sitting over there. But this is one that I just recently set up, and I moved my new pair, I should say, of Acara bimaculata over here. I have a bunch of them, as you saw in my Blackwater aquarium earlier, and so I just grabbed a new male out of there, and hopefully she doesn't hurt him, because then I'm gonna have a lot more females than males. But gonna feed them some bloodworms and fatten them up a little bit. This is a pretty simple aquarium. There's a fluval stratum base to help these crypts grow, and there is some sea chem fluorite sand, which is kind of the finer stuff that you see, and then just some regular sand and gravel, black diamond blasting sand. But these are an amazing fish, so even if they don't breed, I think this is going to be a good aquarium for them. This is very soft RODI water that hopefully will allow me to get some more babies from them, although I have quite a few already, so we'll see what I end up doing with them. I'm not really that into the breeding right now and trying to get it to work, so if it doesn't work, I won't be too upset. It's still going to be nice to see this aquarium grow in and fill up with these plants, especially with that substrate. And then right above that, this is one that I've shown off not too long ago. And these is just a very simple aquarium, but these are Julidochromis transcriptus. There are 5 of them in here. This is a 20 long, as was the last one. But these fish are always they seem like they're almost always together. I'm really surprised that one is not with them. But it is just, I mean, I love how this is turning out. Just piles of rocks, very simple setup. They go in and out of the rocks. They may breed eventually. In my experience, Julidochromis are not too hard to breed as long as they have space. They're not full grown yet though, so we'll see what they do as they get older. But simple aquarium, but still fun to watch. And despite the fact that these guys aren't crazy active, I just think they're very fun. You may end up just looking at an empty tank for this one because I don't think he's gonna come out because he hasn't been in there for very long. But I finally got an Oscar. However, this is no ordinary Oscar, and I'm probably just gonna make a full video on him once he is out a little bit more. But I'm really excited to have him. He's a wild caught Oscar. There's some special things about him that I think people are gonna love, and I'm gonna love him too. But he's in here. I put a little bit of salt in the tank because he just came in not that long ago, and he looks a little scraped up for some reason. I don't know if the shipping was rough or what happened, but he just had one fin that looked a little rough. So I put him in here with a little bit of salt, and usually in my experience that generally clears things up pretty darn quickly. Speaking of new fish in this 20-gallon over here, there are a bunch of eggs on that slate there on the ceramic for these koi red devil angels. They came as red devils, but they look more like just regular koi. The one in the back, the female, I believe, is more red devil, but it's the same thing, koi red devil. But I noticed that they were breeding, and I put them in this tank to be able to get some babies from them. I had them in a 40 breeder, and I did actually get some babies from them, but I left them in there too long with their babies and they ate a bunch of them. So I decided to try again and see if I could get a nice batch. I know you just heard me say that I'm not really into the breeding right now, but breeding is just fun and I love it. So when you can get them to breed, oh, the Oscar came out. So there he is. You can kind of see him. Talk more about him later. But I couldn't help myself. Why not just get a whole bunch more angels? Not to mention I used to have a lot of these and I lost a few of them in an issue that I had with a tank, and I was just kind of sad that I didn't have them anymore. So when I noticed they were breeding, it just felt like a good thing. It was a special thing, like to be able to have some more of these, considering I was kind of bummed that I had lost them. These are a really cool fish, and I'm excited to have them for a few reasons. I already showed them in one video, but these are my Victorians. These are my thickskin obliquidens, species 44. And anybody that can keep Victorians should, just because they are almost all endangered species on the care list. But just because of the ecological disasters that are happening in that lake right now. But this is a 75-gallon. There are 10 of them in here. That might be a little too many. However, you can put them with peacocks. So if I get too many males in here, I always have the option to move them around. I heard one YouTuber recently talking about how boring Lake Victorian cichlids are, and I don't know what they're talking about, because I think Lake Victorians are just so fun to watch and so active. And I understand some people say, well, they only one of them generally colors up at a time, to which I say, what are you doing wrong? Because mine, although they do change colors frequently, they're constantly going in and out of color changes. But I think that's what makes them amazing, is that they're kind of vying for position of who's going to be more dominant, and they will kind of chase each other, and they get a little bit nippy at times, but it's just constant activity. You do have to watch their aggression, and I will be watching it carefully. I am a little nervous because I feel like I have more males than females, so we'll just have to watch that. But like I said, I've got other options to maybe move them around if needed. But just the activity is great. This is my second time keeping Lake Victorians, and I think this is a better setup. I'm kind of using a lot of the information that I learned the first time around, mistakes that I made as far as curbing aggression, giving them more rocks, more places to hide. But they are just so beautiful and so fun to watch, and they're always right at the front of the tank. I mean, it's so fun to feel loved from your fish, and these guys definitely show the love all day long because they're always hungry. But fun to watch. Everybody that can keep Lake Victorians should definitely have a tank of them just to preserve these stunning species. Well, I know what you're thinking. Is that it? And the answer is no. I'm actually currently waiting for FedEx to bring me another shipment right now. However, that is one that I already have in a different tank. I have, my oldest cichlids that I've had are some Geophagus tapajos. The first time I ever bought cichlids was Geophagus tapajos, pyrocephalus. And sadly, the other day, one of my original 2 got a cut on its head. I'll show you a video of it. I thought it was healing really nicely, and then it just suddenly died. And so I was really upset with that. So I did a little bit of a depressed buy where I just decided to order some more. So I did buy 4 more Geophagus tapajos. He wasn't the only one that I had lost. I originally started with a group of, I think 7 or 8, and it just kind of gotten down to 4, and then now with that death it brought it to 3. So I was kind of upset about that. I was like, you know what, I got the 2 albinos, I'll get 4 more, I'll get a nice little group going again, and everything will be okay. So that's another one that I've got, but I don't have any video of it because the truck's not here yet. So if you are FedEx, please come quickly. And I am happy to share all these with you. I hope you enjoyed this quick little fish room update with all of my new fish. There will be more coming soon. So thanks a lot for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Fish list out.